tricky stuff in there. I haven't read this for a while.
Wilcoxen slow motion, number 37. Take 2, 3, 2, 1.
Solo number 37. Solo number 38. I bobbled that first ending just a little bit, but I think I am really playing this solo too fast for a young player to be able to play along with. So I want to adjust my speed on solo number 38 to make it more comfortable for someone that's just working their way through the book. Again, it's that notational thing where you are only going this fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, but you get the 16th note triplets and the 16th notes in a 6/8 time. It forces the rhythm to move along quickly. So I'm going to adjust that now. This is solo number 38. Hope that makes all the young percussionists like me more now. I would. This is solo number 39, and I'll watch my tempos because solo number 40 is also quite difficult. There are no instructions for that. It says left hand up, so I'm going in a slow motion. Very good for picking your choice of what you might like to do there. Solo number 40. A lot of very fast, intricate figures here. So I'll control the tempo quite slow. Back to 2/4 time. This is solo number 41. This might be a good moment to discuss the difference between the 7-stroke roll that occurs on the 8th note and the 7-stroke roll that is preceded by 2 grace notes. Because I didn't do it right. I interchanged them just reading through like I am. But an explanation will help that. And I'll play it right for you. When you see an 8th note that has a 7-stroke roll on it, that's a pickup into the next measure. The underlying rhythm for that roll is a 4-stroke rough, or 3/16 notes under a 16th note triplet. So it would be the first 7-stroke roll in solo number 31. 1 and 2, anolit 1, anolit 1, anolit 1. There's an accent on the cutoff note, which is the downbeat to the first measure. Now, the anolit becomes doubled, so for every count, an-o-lit, which are the 16th notes under the triplet, you have to double the speed of those 16th notes by doubling the notes. So instead of playing 3 16th notes under the triplet, you're now going to play 6 32nd notes under the triplet, and they'll be tripletized. So I consider this to be the fastest figure of all standard rudimental drumming. And I think you'll see why when I play it. I go 1 and 2 and 2, 2. See how fast that is? So hopefully you got part of the explanation of that. When you see the 7-stroke roll at the end of the first measure, you see the 2 grace notes preceding the 7-stroke roll. There's been confusion about this for as long as I've been teaching. Let's remove it. The 2 grace notes turn the roll that's written on the and count into a dotted 8th note. So because it becomes a dotted 8th note, you can count it 1 and 2, D and a 1, and 2, D and a 1, a dotted 8th note, D and a. Now, with it being a dotted 8th note, the underlying rhythm now becomes this, and I'll try and play it quietly. 1 and 2, D and a 1, and 2, D and a 1. Well, we have to double those, so D, and da are now double stroked, so they become 32nd notes, but not under any kind of a triplet. So it's D, E, and 1, D and 1. There's your 7-stroke roll, but look how much slower it is in the context of the solo, just because it's making a dotted 8th note out of that last written 8th note. It brings it in 1 16th note count earlier, D and 1. 1 and 2, and 2, D and 1, and 2. Now listen to the difference between these 2 rolls when they're performed as the pickup into the first measure and starting on the dotted 8th note of the last count, D and 1 and 2. Enormous difference, right? But that's the way it's played. So now I'll play the solo for you that way, and you'll see that I'll use D and in the first line. I'll use D and in the second line. I'll use the 16th note triplet. I guess that's all of them. That's all I see now scanning it. So you'll hear both rolls being played. Here we go. 1 and 2. Tiny mix-up on stickings. Stickings are very important in rudimental drumming. If I was preparing this, practicing it really hard, I would demand of myself that I got every sticking right. When I'm combining first and second endings, sometimes it throws off the connection of the stickings to try and get the rhythm right in the second endings. So just slight justification for that. But that was the right rhythm. That was the sound. I have to change the sticking in the second inning. Okay, now we're going on to number 42. Enormously fast rhythms at the last line, because now we're dealing with dotted 16th notes and 32nd notes in just the rhythm itself. With all the flourishes, with all the grace notes in between. 1 and 2. I even forgot to mention that the accents aren't where you'd expect them. They're on the afterbeat. Then it changes to the downbeat. Whew, what a bear that solo is. Okay, this is going ahead. Make my stomp. No, work. Ah, two of them. Sorry, I'm caught. Number 43. Okay, patience. I've got to get my stomp back to where I want to be. Okay, that was 42. Stomp is very touchy. Now I'm on solo number 43. I'm heading to number 50, my landmark for today. Third line, little sticking turnaround there. I'd like to play the third line cleaner for you, and then I'll play it on to the end. I'll just play the whole solo again and catch that little turnaround. Okay, here we go. What can I say? Again. Solo number 44. I think I'm going to intrigue you just a second, and I'm going to give you my specialized interpretation of the rough, which is a tripletized rudimental jazz. I've kind of specialized in that for years, and I haven't revealed it here because I'm using the 32nd note. But the syncopation in solo number 44 is almost more than I can stand. So the first measure is written this way. When I turn that into rudimental swing, I'm going to make a 16th note triplet between the first note, the next two grace notes, and connect that to the next 16th note. So it's going to go like this. Now I'll keep going with the syncopation. I'm going to catch the next figure with a 16th note triplet. So I'm tripletizing the grace notes, and I'm creating a version of what I call rudimental swing. I have to pick the tempo up and have to pretty much accent all the notes. So here it comes. So I hope you like that sound. I think I'm getting off track here. Solo number 45. One more time. Better for you to play along with. A few little nitties in there. 46. Oh, but one note. Okay, here's 46 again. I got to get that one note for you so you can play along. Just got to get my eyes open wider because I'm doing these 50 solos in one sitting. You know, that's not bad for a 76 and a half year old guy. Here we go. I've just got to take a sip of water if you'll just allow me. I don't want to lose the continuity of the recordings. Just let me get a sip of water here. I'm human. Cheers. Oh, that feels so much better. Number 47. Tom, would you just stop the recording for just a second? I need to practice this. That's the truth.